Can I do this? 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 Okay, let me get a little bit more comfortable. Maybe that'll help. So, guys, in this, first of all, hello, hello, hello. Um, I am the Rebel Warrior from Rebel Talk Tea and Style and Easy Rebel TV. If you guys don't know me, hola, konnichiwa, ni hao, bonjour, rim rim, salam alaikum, what's up, what's poppin', namaste, namaste, you guys. Um, today, I want to make this video talking about something that's been really weighing heavy on me, affecting me, and I came to find out it affects a lot of different people. Um, and I find some people say they can do it, and some people that say they can't. And like I said, it's weighing really heavy on me, and it's about forgiving my father now that I see him being sick and suffering um, from dementia for essaying me, touching me when I was a little girl. I want to say 8.5, 9, or maybe 7.5, 8. I forget. I blocked it out. So now I know that that's actually true that people can block that stuff out and it don't come back for years or block out maybe parts of it or the act. Um, but I was talking to my friend about some stuff and she was just like, "You're so strong and you've been through so much and you really are the rebel warrior." And then I had someone take it and try to like weaponize it against me and say to me, "That's why your daddy SA'd you." Um, it's all been affecting me really bad for the last couple of months. And like I said, seeing him with dementia and seeing him declining, um, like it hurts me. So I had to come to the realization that I didn't do anything wrong. You know, you didn't do anything wrong. And I can remember the times that he was amazing dad. Like he taught me everything. Um, he was in the army all my life, and he come from a big family with lots of acres of land. It was like 14 of them, 7 old and then 7 younger. So it's like she had 7, took a break, and then had 7 more. And like becoming an adult or whatever, and knowing the stories and hearing different people's stories. I didn't know what he went through growing up with that many kids, like in Mattle Creek, which is country land where I'm from in North Carolina, where it was. They don't built it up to city land now, but that's where they were from, and they didn't even have like plumbing at one time. And then when they did get plumbing in the house, well, when I was a little girl, and I used to go out there to the country lands for the summer, they didn't have a bathroom. It still was an outside bathroom, an outhouse where you had to use the bucket. And I used to hate that. I used to love to go to the country and see the different scenery and stuff from the city where my mother's side of the family stayed, to go to the country where my daddy's side stayed and see the different living. But I didn't like to have to use the bathroom in the bucket and stuff. I used to be like, I gotta get back to the city, to my grandma, and to my uncles. Um, because if you know me, you know my uncles. Like once the relationship went bad with my dad, like my uncle's been my dad, and my mom is the only girl, so they really babied my mom. Her brothers really, babied her 'cause she was the only girl, and then she had me first, and I'm a girl, so I became their baby. So I always been like my uncle's babies. They've been my dad figure. Like I have a different relationship with each one of them. Each one of them love me to the moon and back. So yeah, and other than them, for a long time, I lost respect. Like if it wasn't my uncles or my cousins as male figures or my brother, they'll say, I bashed them or whatever. My daughters would say I be bashing, or man basher, and I think that played a lot in it. The stuff with my dad and my children, having my children, and the fathers I chose, like just I can say over the last 25 years, all that stuff just gave me a bad taste for men, you know. And even though my uncles are good men, those are the only men that I look at like being good men, and I couldn't do that. You can't do that. You can't be so judgmental or real men, because they were really real men. Like they worked, they provided, they even provided for their sister and their mom and their kids and all that kind of stuff. So if you didn't meet those standards or still don't up to my uncles, then I don't. I'll be like, men ain't nothing. That's the standards. I always compared them to those standards. Like I know my uncles probably did stuff, probably had fights with their wives or cheating or whatever, but we didn't see that and we know that. I didn't see my uncles beating their wives or threatening them, attacking them. I never heard not. Well, one later on as I got grown, I heard a bad story about some SA or abuse, but 1 out of 5, I think I was doing pretty good out of uncles. And so just if you didn't meet their standards, I really didn't look at you like a grown man or a good man, and I still don't. But I'm getting better because I know I can't judge everybody off of 2 or 3 people's flaws. But that's just the state that it had left me in. And yeah, so he did that to me when I was a little girl. And before it happened to me, it happened to my cousin. We had all piled up in a car one night. She passed away now, so I could speak on this. Her name was Kimberly Harvey. And she was a little promiscuous or whatever you call it. And she was older than us. She was the oldest one or whatever. But she said one night, I remember we all piled up in the car and he took us to the store. And she said that she was touched and she was SA and nobody believed her because she was so fast or whatever. I'm not even gonna say fast. She was curious little girl. Nobody believed her. And I didn't know if to believe her or not because she was my big cousin and we were close. All the girls was really close. But I knew what they were saying and that was also my dad, so I didn't want to think nothing like that or believe nothing like that to later on find out that I guess it was something uncontrollable or something once it happened to me or whatever. And I don't like still to right now remember the act or whatever. I guess I just blocked that part out or whatever. But I remember right after it, and I remember my mom coming home after. I remember after she had a big sectional. My mom always been really fancy. So before she came home, she wasn't there. And I just remember going and sleeping behind the couch and knowing that something was wrong and feeling hurt and shame and not know what to say or do and just knowing something was wrong. And I can remember her coming home. And I guess I fell asleep back there behind the couch. So I guess when she came in, she was looking for me. And I woke up and I heard saying, Tan, where you at, my girl? Where you at, my girl? And that woke me up. And I woke up and I was like, I'm right here. And I was behind the couch. And she was like, why are you back there? And I was like, oh, Ma, um, I was just playing and I fell asleep back here or whatever, and we went on about our day, and I never said nothing because we were out of town. We were at the army base. Like I told y'all, he was in the army all my life. Fought in 3 wars and all of that, and I think some of that is affecting his mental too. Like, um, those wars, like Desert Storm. I know he was in Desert Storm, Vietnam. So I know that stuff affected his brain. I know they watched kids being SA and unalive, like little kids, little Vietnamese kids. He's told us stories of the kids trying to make it to them with bombs attached to them, and they have to put the kids down, or whatever. And so, like now in his dementia, that's the kind of stuff that he talk about. He be like, the A1 go boom, the A1 go boom, and he constantly thinking people following him because he knows so much about the army and what went on, which is scary to me now because I'm like, what did they know? You got to think, like, my daddy went in the armies, I guess, in the early 70s. I was born in 75. So maybe he went in there in like 72 or 73. I don't know what year he went in there, but he was already in there when I was born. And he stayed in there my whole life. So, um, on top of the childhood in Meadow Creek in the country, growing up like that with 14 siblings or whatever, we see that right now. That's how what's making me look at that stuff with Krishan and her siblings and all of that and have so much sympathy because I've dealt with a parent with addiction and I've dealt with a parent with a lot of siblings, all them siblings, and they deal with mental issues and essays and stuff when there's so many siblings and kids and stuff in the house. So that's what makes me look at it like that. Like, you don't know what them kids been through or they did to each other or just out of curiosity, and stuff like that. So me being the person I am, I try to take all that stuff in consideration and have a heart. And that's what made me forgive him and thinking of all the good times and all the things he taught me and showed me, like how to say my alphabets. Like when the police be coming, they be like Alpha, Delta, Rico, and I'd be calling it out to them. They be looking at me like, how does this little black girl know all that? My daddy was in the army all the time. So when they be spelling my name, I spell it for them: Mike Alpha, Hotel Alpha, Tango Hotel Alpha. I know that stuff from my daddy. Charlie Delta. I know that stuff from my dad. So I don't know. So just on the strength of that, and once I realized it wasn't my fault and I'm not wrong or hurt for stealing or shouldn't be hurting because I still love my father and it doesn't make me wrong or crazy or anything because I didn't do anything wrong. So that's what I'm dealing with, guys, on top of my own stuff. So your childhood traumas and tragedy, they never leave you until you deal with them head on, I think. And some people you don't have to, but some people can let them go. But if you're still going to be involved, I think, with those people that cause you the trauma, like what those babies going through, Krishan and Tastiki, you got to take it on head on, and the nephew because it's allegations of Tastiki and the nephew too. So, and more allegations. All the sisters out of the 14 or 15, how many kids? Everybody got some kind of, where issues, whether it's addiction, whether it's mentally, whatever. So I try to just look at stuff like that. Like I said, God created me to be the best person I can be, and I'm gonna be judged by my works. So God don't forgave me, not like nothing for nothing like that, but for just whatever. So I constantly try to forgive and grow every day, and just watching him deteriorate. And knowing he gave his life to this country and fought for this country, and he dealing with the stuff from that. So trying to get like they be different percent once they give them disability. And out of all this time, he would have been 100%. He not receiving his 100% because his mental went right. So where was I? Yeah, so the percentages. So they give them in percentages. Um, yeah, so dealing with that, watching him deal with that, which I feel like he deserved, which I feel like we deserve, because I feel like y'all messed my daddy up. Because I know I seen the good in him, as a little girl. I know how he was. And yeah, so just being concerned about all that, wanting to see, feeling like they messed him up, so he deserved to get what's owed to him. We deserve it because now he with my sister and she got to take care of him. And we got generations to go. So I feel like some of that is y'all fault. Y'all throw them people out there to fight in them wars and stuff and then send them back to their family to deal with the mental and physical pains of it. So I feel like all that's done affected him too, which is affecting me. And like I said, I've been dealing with it really hard for these last 30 days since I went and I seen him physically deterring myself. And so I'm on a journey to forgive him because if that was my mama, I know I'd be right there taking care of her. So I'm going to take care of him as much as I can because I know I didn't do anything wrong. So I was making this video to get that off my chest because I finally, I never talked to my little brother about it. He never knew, or whatever. I guess everybody talked around it and didn't want the people on his side of the family to know or what people gonna say or they judge you. But once I told somebody close to me and they used it as like a weapon or weaponized it, I said never again. Fuck what his side of the family got to say. Fuck what my side of the family got to say. That's what happened to me. And so that's why everybody's saying why I'm not able to take care of him more. Why are you not taking care of him? Why are you not trying to get the land that they owe him? Why are you not trying to get the money that they owe him? Because I can't. Because I can't physically watch him. I feel like that's triggering and stuff. So if I can't take care of him right, I just don't want to be in on the financial side, which I do need financial help. So I'm just hoping my sister get it all done and she take care of everybody and he can try to do the best he can for his children and his grandchildren and his great grandchildren to leave a legacy and break the generational bad stuff before he leave here because that's important for me to know that he fought in the wars and I want to be able to tell my kids the history of him fighting for this country and stuff too, or my grandkids. I don't want them to all know bad of him if they get ready to go back in ancestry or whatever. So yeah, guys, that's what I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with forgiving my father now that I see him deteriorate from dementia. What would you do? Could you do it? Could you guys do that? Could you forgive him and be able to take care of him? Or just throw your hands up? I can't sleep. I think about it every day. And like I said, for somebody to use it in an argument to weaponize it against me, which just let me want to get it out there, get it off me, no matter what his family say. Like I said, no matter what my family say or whoever the fuck say she shouldn't have made that video. She shouldn't have said that. It's me. It's my story. It's my dad. They don't know none of that. They only know great super Uncle George. And I'm sorry if this puts a damper on it. I remember that super Uncle George too. But this was for me. Get it off my chest and for it to never be used against me or weaponized against me again. Like I said, I talked to my brother about it. I told him the truth and how I felt. I never did that before. Um, and I talked to my daughters, and they said I could talk about it. So that's what I've been dealing with. But God has strengthened me so much. My channel, my subscribers, knowing other people been through that too. Other people have felt like that too. I'm not the only person that, like felt like that about men, turned to a man basher or whatever. Judging three. Like I said, my dad and what I've been through relationship wise. So I'm saying four out of my life just turned me all against me and made me a completely man basher. If you ain't my uncles and you didn't live up to the standards of my uncles. I got a young uncle that's a couple of years older than me. He's the baby, my Uncle Odell. And even with my Uncle Odell, like he's all true man to me. Okay, so if you don't meet them standards and being a person and where I am in my life now, I just look at you're not a man. And we got three left in the world. No, I'm just kidding. But I just wanted to say that and get that out, and that's my testimony, part of my testimony. Well, guys, and on that note, I appreciate you if you stuck in for me getting out off my chest, telling my story about forgiving my father. And I appreciate you guys. If you want to comment, send me some strength and prayer, please leave it down in the comments. Or if you can relate. And yeah, that's my story, my testimony. I don't care who like it and who don't like it. And I'm rebuilding my strength. And I forgive my father. And I'm going to try to take care of him the best I can until I leave here. And like I said, I just had to get that off my chest so it wouldn't be weaponized against me. Forgiveness is key. And I'll be judged for my works and my forgiveness. And I appreciate you guys. If you're a rebel warrior, I love you. Send me strength and prayers, like I said. I appreciate all you guys. That's my story. And thank you. It is your favorite resilient rebel. And I'm out. Don't forget to like, share, and